Welcome to the Extreme Safety Low Voltage Switchboard Rescue Kit instructional video. This video is designed to illustrate how to effectively use a low voltage switchboard rescue kit in the case of an electrical accident. The video will show you how to safely rescue the victim of an electrical accident. It's important to be proficient in this procedure so that you can react quickly and effectively in the case that something goes wrong. Safety during this process is paramount. While speed of the rescue is important, the safety of the rescuer must never be compromised. Please keep your worksheets handy and pause the video at each pause point to answer the questions. If you're in a large group, a discussion may be a good way to resolve any questions. Also, keep an eye out for mistakes made by the electrical workers in this video, which we have built in as an added challenge. First off, let's make sure our LV switchboard rescue kit contains everything we need. Now, a kit should contain a pair of Class 0 insulated gloves. These are 1000 volt working voltage gloves. The kit must also contain a nylon or fiberglass rescue hook, or crook as they can also be referred to. It also needs to have a fire blanket with a minimum size of 1.8 by 1.2 meters. It needs to be these dimensions in case the victim's clothes are on fire and you need to cover the person from top to toe. You also need a torch, burns dressing, and "Isolate Here" sign in it. The gloves and crook in the kit need to be electrically retested every 6 months after they've been put into service. If the kit is older than 6 months, the gloves and the crook will need to have a retest stamp and sticker respectively. Check to make sure the test is current. Other things to look out for include the burns dressing being within the expiry date and being unopened, meaning it's still sterile. The torch must also be in working order. If you're unsure of where to have a kit retested, we recommend our sister company, Mobile Test & Cal. When arriving on site, some preparation must be done before any work can commence. First and foremost, the source of supply to the switchboard, transformer, or any other equipment that is going to be worked on must be identified. Once the source of supply has been ascertained, a point where this supply can be broken must be identified. Once this switch or breaker has been identified, hang the "Isolate Here" sign on the disconnect switch. This will enable a rescuer to quickly identify the switch and de-energize the circuit. This task should be undertaken in conjunction with any required risk assessment. This shall be done according to the task and also the site. Both the tradesman and the potential rescuer must be familiar with these steps, as well as potential exits and avenues for rescue. Once this has been done, it's important to check that all the contents of the LV rescue kit are still there, in good order, and in test where required. To recap, the kit should contain the following items: Class 0 insulated gloves, rescue crook, fire blanket, torch, burns dressing, "Isolate Here" sign. As always, the gloves should be air tested before any use or potential use. This is done by holding the cuff and swinging the glove in a circular motion. This should cause the cuff to seal and trap air inside the glove. Squeeze the glove and listen to any air hissing out. Air coming out would indicate a hole, meaning the gloves are unsafe for use. Also, make sure the torch is working if you're working indoors. Additionally, you should have a water source within close proximity to treat burns in case of an accident. Extreme safety bags can be used to carry water for this use. Most other brands cannot and will require a bucket to be kept next to the water source. In the case of an electrical shock or even arc flash accident, the victim needs to be freed from live parts as quickly as possible. Don't become another victim. The rescuer's safety is the most important. 2 people are harder to rescue than 1. Beware of the risks of electric shock, heat, fumes, and smoke. The rescuer must don their rescue gloves, and power supply must be immediately isolated by the rescuer. But unfortunately, this might not always be possible. The next step is to use the rescue crook to remove the victim from the switchboard. This is done by using the hook to grab under the victim's armpit and pulling them away from the switchboard. Your other hand will be needed to support the victim's other shoulder. This is to be done after the contact with live parts has been broken. If the victim's clothing is on fire or has been on fire, immediately use the fire blanket to cover the burning areas and pat them down. This is imperative, as clothing can continue to burn skin for minutes after exposure to heat or flames. Next, anyone in the vicinity should be immediately notified and asked to seek help. This should be done by mobile phone or two-way radio as quickly as possible. Once this has been done, move the victim to a clear and safe area, if not already done. This should be done by the one-man drag method or hold. This is done by crouching behind the victim, placing your arms around the victim's upper body, securing one hand over the opposite wrist, and walking backwards. Be sure to adopt the correct lifting procedure to avoid any back injuries. Remove gloves and check the condition of the victim. This should be done by shaking the victim and shouting commands that require a response. If there's no response, quickly place the victim on their side into a stable position. Turn the victim's head slightly downwards, supporting the jaw with a pistol grip. Open the mouth of the victim and remove any dentures or foreign materials. Put your ear near the victim's mouth to see if you can hear the victim breathing. Also, observe the chest area, looking for raising and falling to signify breathing. If the victim is breathing, keep them in a lateral position, which is on their side. Remove gloves and loosen clothing. Also remove jewellery, as this can restrict blood flow once swelling occurs. Now, place the victim in the recovery position by straightening their legs, placing the far arm, that's the one closest to the ground, straight out from the body, and placing the near arm across the victim's chest. Bend the near leg so that the knee creates a right angle and supports the body. Adjust the head to the position of maximum backward tilt, once again supporting the jaw with the pistol grip. Turn the face slightly downward and allow drainage of saliva. If the victim is not breathing, turn them on their back and begin CPR immediately. You should undertake CPR and first aid training separate to this DVD to become proficient in this area. If the victim has exposed burns to the body, immediately pour water over the victim. Place the burns dressing on the victim and continue to pour cold water over the dressing and burns. This should be done for at least 10 minutes of steady water flow. If the victim is conscious, talk to them and check their vital signs regularly while cooling the burns and waiting for paramedics to arrive. Did you manage to spot the mistakes made by the electrical workers in this video? The first was this metal bracelet and watch. The second was not wearing a 10 cal arc flash face shield when working on or near live parts. The third was not having the flame retardant overalls buttoned all the way up. And the final one was the use of a metal non-insulated spanner near live parts. Safety is crucial when performing electrical work. We encourage you to take safety seriously. Thank you for watching the Extreme Safety Low Voltage Rescue instructional video. For more information or products, visit www.extremesafety.com.au or www.arcflash.com.au. Please remember, this video is a guide only, and no responsibility is held by Extreme Safety for the result of using this video for training purposes.